Hey, it's Mike from Party 4 Crafts back again. I'm going to be working on the fiber laser today. I have never used a rotary before. Tonight was the first time that I ever tried it. I've learned a lot, and I think I've gotten it to the point where I can engrave this powder coated tumbler, and I'm going to show you how I did it. All right, here we go. All right, this is the effect that I'm going for. Nice and shiny logo on the black powder coated tumbler. You can see I tried it several times and did not get that bright shininess. Finally figured out at the end how to do it. I'm pretty happy with that result right there. So I'll show you how I got to this point. All right, so first of all, this is the rotary. This is called a chuck rotary. The other kind of rotary is a roller rotary, where the object sits on the rollers and they spin around. But this chuck, these jaws open and close to hold whatever it is that you're engraving. And it goes with these adjustments right here. There's a special tool that goes in there to tighten and loosen it. And you do it from right there. There's some hexes back here to adjust the angle to make sure you're level compared to the laser head when you get to that point. And it bolts right into these holes in the bottom of the laser. So I watched some videos and I saw that some people put a thin dowel or something like that in the middle to get the laser perfectly aligned and straight to it. I did that, and then I didn't like it because then when I was in light burn, I had to offset the design in order to get it aligned with the pencil, and I want it in the center. I want to be able to center the object, and so I adjusted it that way so that this can all be centered, and I'll show you how I did that later. All right, next up I'm going to turn the laser on. You're going to hear the fan come on and everything. But it's really not too loud compared to a CO2 laser. Okay, so next thing up, I am going to mount the tumbler, put it in the jaw, and it's kind of opposite. It's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey, so I turn it left, and it grabs onto the inside. But if I was grabbing the jaw from the outside and squeezing, then it would be righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. But since I put it on top of the jaws and it open out to tighten, it's opposite there. And so you can see the red dot right there. I use that for approximate focus. If I get a little in there closer, you can see if it's way out of focus, you'll see 3 dots show up there. And when there's 3 dots, it's out of focus. And so now I can adjust it the other direction until those dots all come together as one, and that's pretty close to focus. But to get the actual focus, I'm going to use a ruler, and this line right on the side of the laser, that's the focus line right there, and it's at 280 millimeters or 28 centimeters. And so all I do is set the ruler on the peak of the tumbler, and then I can make small adjustments until that's aligned with the 8, and it's pretty close right there. I might adjust it a tiny bit more, but the camera's in the way, so I'm going to do that off camera. In order to assure that the tumbler is level compared to the laser head, I have a little bubble level here. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bubble level right inside there. It's hard to see in this light. There, you can kind of see it there. There you go. And I just lay this on top and eyeball it until it's level. It's a little off right now, so I would take this hex wrench and loosen these screws right here, loosen these hexes right here just a little bit. And then I can move this up and down until it's level. So right there, it's level. And I hold it there while I tighten it up. Now it's level, ready to go. before I jump over to light burn, I want to point out that there's a couple different ways that you could put your tumblers, your rotary. You could put it going this direction or this direction, and you have to know which way that is in order to set it up in light burn. The way I have it, this is considered the y-axis at a 0 degree scan angle, and that's what I do. If I had it this way, I could go x-axis 0 degree scan angle, or I've seen people who do y-axis 90 degree scan angle, stuff like that, but I would stick with y-axis 0, x-axis 0, and you'll be good to go. Alright, I have my mask on because probably not healthy to breathe the fumes coming off of here. I have an air purifier next to it because I don't have exhaust for this laser. And the air purifier, I can see the smoke going right up into it. And I have my goggles on just in case the laser bounces off of anything. So the next thing I'm going to do is over here in light burn, I'm going to hit frame. And you can see there it's framing it just about the place I had it last. So I'm going to move that and then frame it again. Just hit the arrows, move it up a bit, and hit frame again. I'd probably go a little bit higher than that. Right there, not quite hitting the edge, but pretty good. It's fitting in there. It's going to overlap a little bit, but that's okay. I don't have another rotor. I don't have another tumbler that I could use for this practice. So after this, all I do is hit start. I could tell it. I know it takes about 3 passes for this to work. So I could set it to do 3 passes, or I could just go one at a time. See how it goes after each one. But since I've done this so recently, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start now. So this is real time, not sped up at all. That's actually how fast it's going. Probably right about here, I'll start speeding it up so you don't have to watch the whole 2-minute process. And I'll do the exact same thing 3 times to make sure that it goes all the way through this thick powder coating. And back in one of the menus, I can go back and screenshot it now and put it in there. There was a return to the start point when finished setting that you really should have on. If you don't do that, it's going to be very difficult to align your second pass. But if you have that checkbox checked, then it's going to go right back to the start point. All I have to do is click start again, and it will run another pass. So why don't I just run it at higher power or slower speed instead of doing multiple passes? Because higher power or slower speed on a fiber laser will actually burn into the metal. You don't have to worry about that on a CO2 laser because CO2 lasers cannot engrave metal no matter what. Fiber lasers can, so you're trying to burn off the black coating without burning the metal at all, without engraving the metal. And you can start to see some bright spots showing up where it's just about gone through the black coating, but not quite in all areas, so I'm going to need another pass after this as well. But if I cranked up the power or slowed down the speed, it would engrave in the metal, and then I would get a dull look instead of a nice shiny metallic look, and that's not what I want. I want nice shiny metallic. This actually looks much shinier on the camera than it does in real life. That looks pretty shiny there. If it actually looked like that, I'd be pretty happy. But it doesn't. It's very, very gray in reality, and it has stripes. And we're starting to see that where in some places it's burned through the black, and in some places it hasn't. So it's going to take at least one more pass to get this to where in the real world it actually looks shiny. And then the next pass I won't talk, I'll just do it at fast speed. All right, everything turned off now. Here's the final result. Nice and smooth, nice and shiny. I really like that. That came out great. And I could work on the settings a little bit more to get that in fewer passes. But I really like that. It came out great. All right, so that was the whole process of engraving a tumbler on a rotary with the 30-watt JPT fiber laser that I got from Pascal Liu. If you're interested, check the description and I'll have a link to where you can get one of your own, or reach out to Pascal Liu and tell him that I sent you. Was that everything you need to know about using a rotary on a fiber laser? Absolutely not. But that should be enough to really get you started and teach you about some of the things that you're going to need to know in order to use a rotary on your fiber laser yourself. All right, until next time, this is Mike from Party for Crafts.